Hi everyone. Can you believe that we only have weeks 5, 6, and 7 left of this course? It has flown by. For week 5, we're going to be going more in depth on some topics that we've already mentioned a bit. We're going to be talking about scaffolding play through observation, questioning, and modeling. And then something that I always found very challenging in my classroom, knowing when to step in with children and when to step back with children. And also supporting peer interactions and extending learning during play. I'd like you to read chapters 8 and 9 in your text. And then I want you to explore the website from Michigan State University about the power of play. You also have some optional materials under the deeper dive section about equalizing opportunities to learn, a collaborative approach to language and literacy development, and an article about play as a privilege or a right. If you choose to use those materials this week, that's fine. Otherwise, I would recommend that you at least bookmark them and save them for a time when you would really like to be able to access that information. You're going to be watching a video about the role of adults in play and also one about scaffolding children's learning. So our discussion this week is going to be about what adults do with regard to play. And I have some prompts I'd like you to answer about when an adult stepping in is unintentionally disrupting learning. How do you know when a child is productively struggling? They're figuring something out. They're making some mistakes and they're learning from them versus a child who is dysregulated. And then also think about how trauma-informed practices can influence your decision whether you should be stepping in or stepping back. And then our assignment this week, you have a choice of 2 different approaches to the learning materials this week. You can make a step in or step back decision map, and I have very clear prompts for you. It should be a visual that is going to really analyze when should adults step into child's play, when they should step back, how can they recognize when behavior could be connected to external things like stress or dysregulation, sensory needs, trauma. How can adults respond in ways that really preserves a child's agency, emotional safety, and engagement? And then also, we've touched upon this a bit, what do the role of observation and documentation and relationship building play in your decision making, whether to step in or step out? So make sure that you have clear points or pathways, arrows or boxes, whatever. Make sure that you have enough information there and examples of the situation. And then explore where observation or minimal support would be more appropriate. Make sure you include references and in-text citations as always to make connections to the learning materials or any additional research that you have done. Or you can choose to do a case study analysis. You can even videotape children in your own classroom as long as you have releases signed that allow you to videotape your students. Or you can go online to places like Eastern Connecticut State University or Edutopia and find a video. And then your job will be to provide a written analysis that includes how the educator is supporting play, what kinds of scaffolding was observed, were there any equity considerations in that classroom, and then samples of adult language for modeling, for open-ended questions that encourage higher ordered thinking, for co-playing, and for conflict coaching. Make sure, again, you include references and in-text citations to our course materials and any other research that you have done. I'm really looking forward to hearing from all of you this week. Take care and feel free to reach out if you have any questions.